So we are now live. So welcome to Off the Record, Airtable Secrets and Lore. We're a group of Airtable users exploring new ways to use Airtable to optimize our businesses and lives. And we're open to hearing from anyone about your experience, good or bad, using Airtable to make a positive impact in the world. We attempt to promote people coming from any level to share your ideas or ask questions. We also share our experiences, tips, and practices and offer ways to get help and get involved with the community. We meet every Wednesday from 7 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join, you can join at Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern and go to www.videowithben.com and you can join the Zoom room. So to kick things off, I know Kuovonne has an app. I don't know if you're ready to show it right now, but we can start off with Kuovonne's app.
Okay.
Well, did you want to do any news?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have news. We can start off with news.
Well, I think the only news we have is we made it through the scheduled downtime.
The upgrade, and it took less than 20 minutes total.
So, I mean, I know it's not official news, but I think it might be worth acknowledging we had two major breakthroughs. A scheduled downtime, which was announced ahead of time. Who knew? Aaron, do a table talk on the importance of scheduled downtimes. And the second thing was it was quick and harmless and easy and amazing. And I don't see any major differences. I don't see any peppier, but yeah, I just want to say congrats at Airtable status on Twitter. That's all the news I have.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. I honestly forgot that it even happened. So that's how good it was.
It happened exactly the way I hoped it would. And, the less we know, I was kind of hoping that some people would come back afterward and say, oh, wow, my base is so much faster now. I hadn't heard that. But the fact that I wasn't hearing people talking about things breaking, I think is awesome.
I think over the past week and a half, mine has been much slower and I've been getting a lot more loading screens when loading a view than normal. But that was before they did their downtime.
Some other magic on your base. Concentrate on your base. Concentrate on your base loading fast. Okay. So Kuovonne, tell us about your new app. I also have some tweets from Twitter. I guess tweets from Facebook would make no sense, but they're really interesting. So I saw some interesting things people were sharing about Airtable. I thought it'd be fun to just as in the random section of the show today.
Okay. I guess, should I do a screen share?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
So, let's see. Okay, so if you go to airtable.com/marketplace, it's this one, email table here. The idea behind it is that it has a table that you can use that's strictly for sending out emails. It's a little bit of a different system compared to what other people might be doing with regular emails, but it's something that I've done in a few client places, and I find that I like this system because it makes things a little bit easier for me to manage, and it doesn't take quite as many automations. But basically, that's what the icon looks like. And here is a little demo base that I have. So basically the idea is you've got your table and then you want to go and send someone an email about, say, their project, but you want to do a little tweak. So say you want to send Beth an email and it comes up with this on the side and it merges in information with the template. So it merges in like the name. And then what I can do is I can go in and I can actually edit this a little bit. Is my edit. And then you go through and you can change things. Right now, this is just the base version of it. You need a premium version license to get the full message, but you click the button, create the email record. And then we have an email table that the whole app is named after. And you can see here, it creates a new record in that email table, which you can then have an automation that actually sends the email. Why do this? Have a whole extra table? What's the benefit of that? Well, the benefit of that is twofold. One is you can have a list of your templates, or all of your templates are in just one place in one table, rather than scattered across a whole bunch of different automations where you're writing the drafts there. So in this case, I only have one template. This is a welcome template, but if I wanted to have, another template, then I could say, this is my template 2. And the way you include field values is you just put them in double curly braces. So this one sends an email. I can say welcome here, and then you can you can edit whatever you want your message to be. Like this, and just put the field names in double curly braces. One small disadvantage is that these are hard coded with the names of your double curly braces there. So when you change your field names, you would also have to manually change the template here. But it's also, you can have lots of different templates here, and it's easier going in and editing them here rather than going into the automation and then finding the step that has the automation and going through doing all of that. And the other thing that this can do is you can say which source fields in your source record have attachments that you want to include in your email. And also, if you have some fields that have JSON data, that you can go in and include that JSON data and parse it out. It's a little bit, but the main thing is you get this little in-between step here where you can go and say, actually, you know what? I also want to, edit my subject a little bit, or I want to add another paragraph to this. Or if you want to say, actually, you know what? This picture here, you can see that. I don't really want to send that after all, and then you can take that out.
1 cookie, 2 cookies.
Cookies.
I might have missed this, but how do you pick which template it'll send?
So you have there's the settings in the app. So first there's the app license here, which is you need premium features to get the full message. Otherwise, the full message.
That's how Kuovonne gets paid.
Then for the email table, you set up lists and you say which one's your emails. You have a templates view, and it does all of the different field names. The other thing that's nice about this app is if you do not have an email table at all, it'll give you a button. It'll say, hey, just create the table for me, and it will create the entire email table with all of the different fields that it needs. You'll still have to create the templates view yourself because custom apps currently cannot create views. And then you have your input template. Here, you're going to go, you pick which template you're going to use. So here's going to use welcome and what state you're going to have it. So I usually have it saying, create my new record in the status ready to send. And then my automation that actually sends the email watches for that and says, when there is a record that's in the state ready to send, then go actually send it. And then you can turn on and off whether or not you want to allow editing of the merged results, and whether or not you want to attempt to link to the email to the source record. So for example, say you're the person that's creating this and you want that button where they can create that email, but you don't want people to be able to edit that merged result, then you can change that. This little setting was just saying that, by the way, this app doesn't actually send the email itself. You'll still need to have an email automation that does do the send, either an Airtable automation or some other third-party one that actually sends it. And just about, this is just my copyright stuff. Then
I want all my friendships to have that about tab. So when you become my friend, click on the about. See, when you become my friend, I want to say this friendship is provided as is, without warranty of any kind, implied, included, but not limited to. I won't be nice to you if you're a jerk. I might hit you upside the head if you make me angry. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's legal stuff.
I know.
There, and then the idea is with one license, you can use that same license multiple times in the same base. You can't use that same license in different bases, but you can have different buttons that will call different instances of the email table. Each instance of the email table app is going to be linked to just one email template. So everything else would be the same except for the template and the different ones. And then if you want a different template here, like you could just pick, template 2 here. And then let's say I went to my email tables and I edited this and I had my subject be, this is template 2. Then you can see that when I click that button, my subject says this is template 2. The other thing to know about it is this, you need to use the syntax of whatever service is going to actually be sending the email. So for example, in Airtable, they use a limited form of Markdown, but if you had to have full HTML formatting, then you could use that and send it through a third-party service that would have the full HTML. And because this app doesn't know what format you're using, it's just going to be that raw format. And then let me show you the automation that would actually send. I have it turned off right now because I don't actually want to send any of these. But I just have it when the record matches conditions that says that when the status is ready to send, first thing we do is we send the email. And the nice thing about this is the values, who it's to is just the 2 field in the table. It's the subject, the message is going to be whatever that message is. So you don't have to go and compose it here and any attachments and so on. And then of course, I like to have another update record action that will go in and change the status to sent. And if you want, it can have something else that will say, for example, the exact time and date that it was sent. Any questions?
I know a lot of my clients could really use this because they have a ton of email templates that they send like regularly. So if they had like 10 templates they wanted to use, they would have 10 buttons basically.
Yeah, because and then each one would have a button that would link to a particular template.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if they have 10 templates, then they would probably have 10 instances of the app. I toyed around with different ideas of saying you click the button and then then in the app you click which the template is. And I thought that gets a little bit too confusing. So let's simplify it. You have a new instance of the app for each template that you want to use. That way you can configure them differently. Maybe on some of them you want to be able to allow people to edit the message, but on other ones you don't. And then the same license works in all of them within the same table. So you don't have to buy a new license just because you want 10 templates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the other thing is, so you get the license on my Gumroad store, and also on my Gumroad store, you can find a automation script where you can do the same thing with an automation where it will go and create that email record. Because there are so many different field values in it, it has to work where the email table was created by my app and it's actually named emails. Otherwise, you'd have to hard code all these different fields. So it works best that way. And then what we can do is we can say, hey, let's trigger this automation that runs this script. And let's say I want to send something to Beth, and I'm not actually, I want this to happen automatically. I don't want to actually have to edit it. Then you can go in and then in that, let's look at, oops, not templates. So you can see at the end, let's see. Oh, the automation is still in progress. So it's going through and it's merging all those things. And then you can see here, there it is. Email, it's got her email address, it says her name, and then it's got a little bit of information with her project and status and information that merged in with that. So the two work together. And the script is really simple. Set up your trigger, whatever you want it to be. It has to be a trigger that will return a specific record. So you can't do a find records. It has to be something like a record matches conditions or something like that. Run the script, you just paste the script in and you put in these two input variables. One is the Airtable record URL. So not the record ID, but the Airtable record URL of the triggering record. And then you just type in the name of whatever template that you want to use.
Okay.
You don't have to edit any of the script at all. You just paste it in.
Now, how much is this fine piece of software going for? Because if I don't know anything about it, I'm not going to look it up, but I would say I would gladly pay $10 a month for this. What are you charging?
Okay, so the way that I have set up my apps is personal choice. The way I'm doing it right now, it's a flat fee per base. The license you get it for the base. You pay a one-time fee, and then it's yours. You don't have to keep paying every month. Now, if you want to use it, so it's not a subscription base.
That's good.
Okay, so it's just now, if you end up wanting to use it in a different base, then you simply pay that one-time fee for it in that other base.
Do you have workspace pricing or just per base?
It is per base.
Got it. And you're using the Gumroad. I'm loving this.
And I'm using Gumroad to show that. So if we do email table, let's search for that.
You have that many that you have to literally search?
Well, so here, this is the current pricing. So this is for the app itself. You can see this is the Airtable app, and then the companion script. So it says Airtable script is there if you want to do the second script. I have a lot more products now in it because I started selling individual.
This is actually cheaper than doing the $10 per month. So at $100.
I mean, as long as you use it more than 10 months, which I hope you would.
Yeah, I figure everything needs at least a year.
But and then you know you can test it out. You know, the main thing is your message is going to be truncated. If you don't have the full license. Let me see if I have one. Oh yeah, so like before you actually get the full license, it says here at the beginning, purchase a premium license to include the entire message, and then it just cuts off in the middle.
Yeah.
So you can try it out, see what it's like, make sure you understand how to build the templating system. And then once you've done that, go ahead and get the license. And then later on, if you say you like it enough, you want to be able to send these automatically, and you like the system, then go ahead and get the automation script.
Okay.
I've done a similar like email template thing, except I did it with substitute formula. So I had those same like curly braces.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a lot of work to get that to work for however many fields they had.
For all the different substitutes.
Yeah, they would like pick the template, and then it would look up like the subject and the message, and then it would replace everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So the problem with that is that whenever you wanted to add a new field or you changed the name of a field, you had to go back and change that formula.
Yep.
So here, this is a little bit simpler. If you add a new field or you change the name of the field, you still have to edit the template, but you just have to edit the name of the, inside the curly braces. You don't have to edit a whole formula.
Yeah, and formulas are intimidating for new users. So this definitely helps out a lot. Awesome. I like the app a lot.
Okay. And I said, well, I think one of the
my only feedback is I'm not a big template fan. So if you're using templates, this is the way to go. But listen, folks, talking to you, friend to friend, friends don't let friends template. Nobody likes to get a template. Nobody likes to get. Just stop. All right. So
if you don't like the template at all, what you can do is you can just have a template where it's blank.
Yeah.
And then you click the button.
But I would like it to automate
and then
my
it says put the to, which you probably do want. And then you have a blank message, and then
that to me is worth $100. And I'll tell you why. The automations to get an email out and into your box from G Suite are hell. And I swear to God, it always loses the date for the date of the email. I always have to come in and some rogue no date email in there, and it drives me crazy. So for $100, if I could just send email through here, I would do it.
And the huge benefit is you can stay in here and not have to go to Gmail or open up the mail app on your computer.
Yeah.
You can do it all from Airtable.
Yeah, and so you could bill it as distraction-free work. That's another way you could bill it, because being in your inbox will ruin you.
Oh.
Well, this is amazing, Kuovonne. How many apps you have in the store now? Let's flip over to the marketplace to take a look. If we put in your name up.
They currently do not have a way where you can search by publisher, but I was going back and looking at it, and I actually have 6 of them. So there's Email Table is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Low-tech PDF here
I remember that.
is another one. Ready-made formulas.
That's a crowd favorite.
There's that one. And that one, I've got like half a dozen other formulas that I want to add in it, but I need to do a redesign of the user interface because when you have so many more, just having a list of them isn't working. So this is going to have a version 2 when I can get around to it. So that's what, 3. Then we also have field lists.
Oh, I forgot about field lists.
Field
Now,
lists-
that is, I had a dream about field lists once.
Field list is one of those things where when you get a base and it has, you've inherited this base or you've had this base for a long time and you have no idea what all of your fields are, what are your lookups going on, what's going on in it. That's what this base is for.
I have these questions about my spouse. What's going on? What lookups are? I mean, I think I could use field list at home for my pets,
Oh.
especially this monster dog.
Yeah, that's it.
My new puppy.
And then pre-filled forms, which was actually the first app that I have in there.
Yeah, that's the granddaddy.
And then quick view. So
Oh yeah.
quick view is you can just go and you've got your base and you're going from table to table. You've got your dashboard up and it will go through and it'll give you a little summary. You can choose which fields you want to include in there with the premium license. And the nice thing about it is as you click from tab to tab, it can be customized that same instance of the app for whichever different tab you are in.
Papa,
So-
can you hear me? Oh, it's Can I Hear It? Sorry, I thought it was a Barbra Streisand record.
Oh, so yeah, I'm better at writing code than coming up with sample data.
I'll do your
for
sample
screenshots.
data. Let me do your sample data. I love sample data.
Yeah, I mean, I'll create an app and then sometimes I feel like I spend as much time coming up with sample data, making it look good, getting screen captures as it takes to actually come up with the idea of the app. So that's it. Did I go through all 6?
Yep.
And they're all, well, so pre-filled forms is completely free. All of the other ones, they do take premium licenses, but they're all a flat fee. Pay once, install it into one base, and there's no subscription. You never have to pay for it again unless you want to use it in a different base.
Amazing. Amazing.
Awesome.
But, you know,
Are we
since
ready to
the
move?
main idea was being able to edit what you did before the actual.
Yeah, yeah, no, and that's kind of the biggie. Yep, I think it's good.
Okay.
Oh, Kuovonne, your skills are enchanting. If I'm being blunt, I sometimes, and I'm not exaggerating, we'll sit in the backyard after a meditation and I'll think about you and Camille, and there's an air, a lightness that comes to my mind, and I suddenly think to myself, enchanting, just that. Thank you for your magic.
Thank
You enchant your table.
You enchantress. Yeah, we need to change our names so we can with K. Ben, I think last week you had a scheduled meeting or some type of savoir-faire with Jordan, the head of community over at the Airtable. Is this true?
I did have a meeting with Jordan.
So was it a savoir-faire or a meeting?
There was a meeting. There was
Okay.
a meeting with Jordan. She's like the head of community at Airtable, so I got some interesting insights.
Ooh, dish.
Yeah, so one of them, I know we've talked before about the Airtable universe, about how dead it is, how there's like nothing new coming in there.
The number one app on Universe is mine.
So I found out the reason why there's nothing new entering the Airtable universe.
They've closed it to submissions.
So the opposite, not the opposite, but apparently somebody who was the person accepting people or accepting bases and reviewing data and all that, they quit about 8 months ago, and nobody realized that anybody was accepting anybody into it. And so they left it alone for 8 months because they didn't know anybody was accepting anything into it. And so they're working on it. They're aware of it, but they still haven't let any more bases. So apparently they have like hundreds of submissions to go into the Airtable universe, but they're all just sitting there.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, are they gonna hire for that position? Because I would love to have it. And I would like to rename my role as She-Man, Master of the Universe. That's because I love me some universe, and I do believe the universe is the future of Airtable. Mark my words.
I think
Well,
it's
that's a real shame that happened. How does someone just leave Airtable?
it wasn't clear whether they left or they got asked to leave or anything like that. But
Nobody gets asked to leave. No, nobody gets asked to leave. No, that doesn't happen at Airtable. Everybody is. It's like summer camp at Airtable. Everybody loves everybody, and it's cozy. I've heard cozy used as an affirmation when referring to different offices in the Airtable campus in Austin. They say, well, that one's cozy. That one's cozier. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I can't confirm that. Any other dirt or news?
The other half was I brought up we were talking about table talk. We were talking.
We love table talk. Can we all do an applause for the table talk? Interactive, community-driven content on demand.
I'm looking for tomorrow's. It's going to be about formulas, and you know I'm all about formulas.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they'll demo the pre-made formulas app.
If you were any more about formulas, you literally would have a beaker emoji in your name.
So I inquired about a certain list at the bottom. Like if you go to their homepage and you go to the bottom, there's 2 featured creators.
Well, at the bottom, you've got the feature creators, right? Now you've got Gap, which is, I think that's Garrett's group, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Now,
good.
Garrett is the 9-figure consultant, isn't he?
Yes.
Or is it 9 or 10 figures? Is he a trillionaire yet? I know he's making money. He's making some coin. Okay. And you've got Automate all the things, which is, let's be honest, the original goodness. Can you click into that?
Yeah.
Now, Automate, I mean, this is the original like monster mash of goodness when it comes to Airtable. This is Aaron's channel, which, by the way, if you've never seen Aaron, I don't know if he still does the gig over on Twitch, but that was super interactive. He'd have animations and coins. You felt like you were playing Mario Brothers. Wow, it was so much fun. I'm serious. Have you guys, do you know what I'm talking about? Have you guys ever seen him on Twitch?
Yeah, I have seen all the coins pop up.
I finally figured out why they call it Twitch. When I watch Aaron on Twitch, they get this little pucker feeling in me. It's like, ooh, it's like a little twitch. It's good. Twinge. They should call it twinge. Okay, so what's going on with the creator showcase at the bottom? Because I've always wondered why you're not there. Or even though I don't have a channel, just a picture of me. Like, why is that not filled with more people?
Because they have YouTube channels. So there are
Oh.
featured creators who are YouTube creators that are creating content specifically on YouTube.
But doesn't Ben do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't explain why Ben's not there.
So that's what I inquired about because she was asking questions about like if you look at my videos, they're all about Airtable. They're all-
Have you requested? Maybe the person who was supposed to approve that left.
Yeah.
I didn't see any like option to request for that. And I also didn't email support asking to be added to that. But I asked her because we were talking about like how can people get like engaged in the community or like how could they better support us? And so I was like, well, how do they determine who gets to be on the YouTube creators? And she had no idea that this was even a thing, that they had featured Gap or Aaron. So she said there's nothing you can do to get on here. You just get on here.
Well, I think there is. You could be a 9-figure creator. I mean, again, and Gareth is now selling that knowledge. So
I think Aaron is the given. That's the pretty obvious person to include and a reasonable person to include. It's strange.
You're a little quiet.
that- I was gonna say it makes sense for Aaron to be there. It's strange that only Gap is there in addition to Aaron.
yeah, and I also still feel there's like this freeze out of Dan Sellers and his group. This is the second, was it Dan Sellers? What did I say?
Sellers.
Colors.
Sellers? Dan,
Fellows with an F.
Dan, I'm sorry, Dan. I F'd your Sellers. I'm sorry, it's Fellers. But I feel, and Dan, I'll be honest with you, Dan's a decent man. So let's try to let's get. Does Dan have a YouTube channel? I mean, Camille, no. Dan's.
Yeah, it's the
pod.
Yeah, it's
well,
okay.
Dan he supports the Built on Air community.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the other thing I'd like to know is, because, by the way, I am in love with their community manager. What was her first name again?
Jordan.
Jordan. I'm in love with her. I think she's amazing. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But you have to wonder what is community in the eyes of Airtable? Is it people who tweeted them? Is it people who watch their YouTube videos? People who come to their live streams? People who come to these new webinars? Is it customers? Is it people in the Airtable sanctioned group? That has always felt super scary to me. Is it people in the biggest Facebook group of Airtable users?
I think
Ben's
that
group?
Jordan thinks it's all of those.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think she thinks it's everybody who interacts with Airtable on some level at all.
Yeah, I had a call with Jordan, and she said essentially that. It's
Well, so everybody's meeting with Jordan.
yeah. Well, she put out a thing. It was like,
Yeah.
hey,
She requested to meet with
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Where did she put this request out at?
The Airtable, their community forum.
Oh, the sanction thing. Yeah, see, I don't do that. You know, Jordan, if you're watching, which you're probably not, people don't like to go to that official sanction community. It looks like some BBS support community from the 90s. Like, build it on Airtable, but like get it in something friendlier looking. It makes me uncomfortable, but you guys are more techie than I am.
Yeah, I prefer it over all the other forms of community, just because most of the questions that I answer are about how do I write a script or how do I write a formula. It is impossible to give you the good answer in any of the other communities.
That's one of the same reasons why I tend to hang out there, is that if I'm answering something about code, I actually, today there was a very long thread on there where I was trying to help someone troubleshoot an issue, and I'm like, no, we need screen captures, we need more code, we need other things, and that just helps when you have that forum.
And you do screen captures and videos and things in that group?
So yeah, people post screen captures
Okay.
and links and all kinds of things.
Sounds good to me. Well, I'm glad she's meeting with everybody. I should probably go hang out in that group, but no, I'm not going to. You know what it is? 3 or 4 years ago, whenever it was, when I first got an Airtable, I went to that group and I asked a question and somebody gave me the cold shoulder. It was kind of nasty to me. And you know how that is the first time you do something, it's like your very first time and you get like a bad reaction. It leaves a taste in your mouth. You guys know what I'm talking about? And ever since then, I've just been unable to go back. I don't know. You guys know how I met Gareth, the 9-figure consultant? I actually reached out to him and said, could you build me like an invoice thing, like in Form Designer or something? It was like some time ago. And
What was his quote?
it was like $15,000. It was pretty steep to build a Form Designer form. Long story short, God bless him. As soon as I saw that, I thought, well, there's money in this. So I'm going to become a 9-figure consultant myself. But I literally said, thank him for his time, invited him to speak at the conference last year. But then it just got me thinking. I was like, yeah, let's learn to build it myself. So my Airtable savvy, literally, I only have one person to thank. It's Gareth. Because if I had gotten a $100 quote, I would not be where I am today. I would have said, go ahead and do it. So if anyone ever makes you feel completely uncomfortable or makes you seem like you're completely inadequate, it's a sign you can be more. So I got some news for you guys. Has anybody checked out, just searched the Twitter for Airtable?
I'm not an active Twitter user.
Okay, so I saw a couple interesting tweets I wanted to share with you folks today. The first one was by Hannah, I don't know, Wigginton. Does anyone know Hannah?
Yeah, she's in the
Yeah,
Built on Air
She's-
experts community.
yeah.
Oh, so she's a somebody. She's like a
Yes.
community member. Okay.
yeah.
I thought this was really great. So by the way, if you guys can't tell, I'm obsessed with people who share screenshots of their bases. To me, it's this, I don't know. I think it's intimate. I think it's sexy. You can see how someone thinks from a screenshot of their base, the colors they pick, the sorting, the filtering. Are they emoji pro, emoji con? But she posted this the other day, super, super cool about this. And literally kind of crowdsourced this question, hey, what else are you guys using? This is what I'm looking for, analytics, articles, keywords, outreach, etc. And people came back, gave her a bunch of information. I thought that was super amazing. But then, do you guys remember Devin
So
Yeah.
she works with Dan. So if you go into her screen share there, she talks about on to air. That's like a lot of the
Oh yeah, look at that. You know what's weird? You know what's weird? When I'm looking at people's screenshots, I'm kind of like, it's like when you use the men's room. I won't actually look too closely because it's like I always figure there's something there I shouldn't see. I can get a general shape and things, but like I won't ever just like gaze right at a base. So I did not notice that. So that you're on to air till you said that.
Oops.
I think he just accidentally clicked the goodbye button somehow, or maybe his computer crashed. Who knows?
I actually have to step away for a minute, but I will be right back.
Sounds good.
Okay, that was cool. I just knocked myself right out of the video. And the next thing I saw that was super cool was this guy. So do you guys remember Devin? He used to be with our group, he used to record with us. He was like the Ringo of the band. You guys remember, yeah, do you remember Devin, Benjamin, Ben?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he's-
here when we first started.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Yeah, sorry. It's all about the Benjamins. So what I think Devin was always talking, what was Devin's big issue? Does anybody remember Devin's big issue? What's the one thing he was always harping on about?
The pricing model.
Pricing model. So here we go. So today on Twitter and Airtable, I saw this tweet and I just thought of Devin's right away. Here's somebody, an NFT collector, 264,000 people followed by Airtable. Oh, I know Amber Case too. She's a big friend of mine. Following 3 people. Okay, so hey Airtable, this is insane pricing. I won't WTF. Making me think about alternatives now. CC, and then they CC'd somebody. I don't know who this person is, but look at this bill. Your workspace is currently on the annual programming $240 per climber. For 42, you guys, your workspace is $10,000. So, so 2 things for whoever this person is, NFT collector, and 264,000 followers. If $10,000 is too much money for that many collaborators, maybe you should rethink your investment strategy. And the second thing is, pulling Airtable in to question their licensing model just because you have a lot of followers. I'm not sure if that's really the best use of your time. I don't know. Thoughts, questions? What do you guys think about this?
Well, NFT investing is pretty passive. So you said they're an NFT investor?
I think he said NFT investor. I'll look right. NFT collector and CEO. So he's a CEO at Nearadot.
I was pretty passive, so he probably doesn't have much to do.
Yeah, but I just thought to myself, that's kind of crazy to, I mean, and first off, like I've been hit with that big bill, but I usually don't invite 42 people at once. Like when I've been hit with the surprise thing, everybody gets it. Like, oh my gosh, I just got a bill from Airtable for $1,000, and people fall apart because it's their rent money and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if I could invite 42 people at once. It just seemed kind of, oh well. What's really interesting, if you want to go out and find this tweet, go down and read the thread. Pretty interesting people giving their feedback on Airtable and pricing. I won't go into any of that because some of it's not family friendly.
There was a really interesting, along those same exact lines with Stacker's shady pricing. Do you remember that post in the Facebook group?
No, could you pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. It was by Lindsay Bavaro.
Yeah, and again, I just on the record, I was really anxious for Stacker. I met with their CEO a few times. This is before their pivot of their pivot. Big hopes on it. My little base used to choke 50,000 records. Then they did that pivot where they had like Stacker X, and that was like their apps they were building. And now they're doing something completely different. And I haven't heard from them in a while. So, and I think they've raised money. So yeah. So what's going on with the Stacker shady pricing? Does anyone out there does anyone here currently have an active app through Stacker? I just got them building mine out, and I'm super excited to release it to my clients. I'd like to go with their starter plan, listed at only $59 a month. However, clicking that plan only brings me to another free trial. When I go to launch the app, I'm provided with 2 plain payment plans. Oh my goodness. Throw it $2.90 a month or Teams, which doesn't seem to have a price. Well, there's bait, switch, and then there's just ruin your whole day.
Yes, I don't know if this plan was in there at that time, but I do know this starter plan, it used to have quite a bit of verbiage on here saying it was like for certain startups only.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
I remember that. Yep. Specifically for startups, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so it says down here who qualifies for the starter plan.
Yeah.
But it's not like there's no asterisk here or anything that's like.
Yeah.
Says that like you can't do the starter plan. So it looks like she jumped in and built her app and then couldn't use it because she didn't want to pay. I don't know, maybe it didn't provide her with this option either. But that was the same. It seems like maybe Stacker might have learned from Airtable with jacked up pricing.
I'm gonna go back and jump on my bandwagon. Pori has been innovating like just gangbusters lately. Innovation after innovation after innovation. Pricing is still rock solid, still starts free, no sneakiness. And I think we can now have some type of advanced editing on records to profiles. I don't know, don't get me right. I might have be saying something out of class. So if you're on Stacker, hope it works out. I hope Stacker wins. I want everyone to have a good day. Maybe even softer. But Pori, again, female co-founders, smart, savvy, gotta give them some love. Next, I thought we'd do a preview, something I was really excited about. In this week's episode of Tooltips, Erin is discussing how to create a strong primary field. Like this is a strong, did anyone see this yet?
I saw that and I really like that particular, I actually haven't watched for a minute, but I did watch this one, and the number of bases that I see where they have an auto number field as the primary field, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, first off, Aaron is still looking great. I don't know what they're doing for lighting, but his skin color is just remarkable. But I had to bring concatenate is your friend. In fact, it's your only friend, and I had to drop my emoji-filled concatenation for one of my tables. But get this. Jared Connor comes through and pulls out the big guns. Can you get a look at this? Look at this.
That's not,
That's not his primary.
what are we looking for?
I don't know, but it looked good. So
He has that like 10 feet.
from Airtable screenshots. You guys remember, I don't look. It's like I don't want to glance too closely. There might be something sensitive in there. Oh goodness. Okay. And then last but not least for Twitter, because that's what I have. Are we done with?
When it comes to concatenate, did you know that there's actually 3 different ways to concatenate things in Airtable?
No, but I'm gonna have you show me, because I need an update. We had some breaking news a couple weeks ago. The tooltips for formulas seem to have disappeared. Have they back?
They are back. They are back.
Yeah, I know.
Kuovonne, do you want to give us 3 different ways to concatenate a field?
Okay, so the 3 business, one is the concatenate function, which it seems like you use. The other one is the ampersand symbol for concatenating things. So you can write like field names, ampersand, and then, you know, whatever else you want to concatenate with it.
Like the and sign. That
The and sign, yeah. And then also there is array join. Now, array join you can't use anywhere. You can only use it in roll-up fields. But it also works, and it will also basically concatenates things together. So there's 3 different ways of doing it. And after writing many formulas, I've decided that, you know, I used to write them one way and now I write them another way. And at first I was like, oh, one way, well, it's so much easier always using it this way. Why would you have the other ones? And now I feel like actually there are very good use cases for having both of them. And I will write formulas where I use both of them.
Yeah.
The area where I'm like not 100% on is with multi-select fields. Why can't I use array join very well?
Well, I haven't actually tried it with that, but you don't actually need to turn that into an, like you just
Or the
use
reason is,
that field name as is.
yeah,
and
I
it'll-
would love to take the selected values and put like anything besides a comma between them.
Oh.
Like I want to put a different separator in there, like the
Uh-huh.
for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, array join, I'll be honest, this is another one where you guys are just brave. That array join has scared me for life. Every time I even think about the function, I have this in my head for you Ghostbusters fans out there. I'm thinking, literally, this is what's going to happen if I try to do an array join. And then linking back to another record I mentioned earlier, or this type of array join. So there's like a bunch of array joins that I'm afraid of. So how did you guys get comfortable with array join? It still makes me scared.
If you're not comfortable with array join, you should see, I think it's Ali one time post, Ali Alosa. I don't know if that's how you say it, Ali Alosa. She had in a roll-up field, she had like array compact and array join and array unique and another array all nested between each other.
That's the only way to do it, baby. The only way.
Now, when you figure out how to do array flatten, every time I use array flatten, I have to go through like 4 different fields of setting up my configurations to get array flatten to work. That's the one that gives me the most headaches.
I think it took I would say array join and like any of the arrays, that's what took me the longest to learn in Airtable was roll-ups and then arrays.
So the main thing to learn about first is that you know that they only use them in roll-up fields. Okay, and then from that, they basically do what their name says. So array join will take them and it joins everything together, and you can include what you want to separate them. So you'd be array join values, comma, and then quote, whatever you want inside it, comma, space, or something else.
While we're in the Hollywood or Halloween theme, and we're speaking of arrays, I'd like to just pull out another array join that we all need to hear, especially this time of year, and that would be the only and original Ray Parker Jr. from Ghostbusters. Okay,
That's an awesome movie.
yeah, how can you say that?
But it's an awesome movie?
Oh, I thought you said it's an awful movie.
No, it's awesome.
Oh my God, I literally am having a panic attack. Check my heart rate. I literally thought I was gonna have to not be friends with you. Like you can't eat anything from the 80s. The 80s is my life.
The 80s movies are awesome.
Something else I thought was kind of fun. Moving on. Mark Bowie. Does anyone know this guy? Seen a member of the community? I don't know.
I feel like I've seen him recently in the community.
Okay, check this out. This guy wrote a book using Airtable that you can buy online. Now, obviously, the book's not about Airtable, but I think it's kind of interesting that it was written on Airtable.
Cool.
I had a dude book a call with me that was using Airtable kind of in a similar way. He was a copywriter, and he would write his advertising copy for his clients, like line by record. So so then he could like toss records around with different orders and have the copy come across differently, but it helped him with like making sure a certain percentage was relating to this emotion or in this like part of his copywriting formula. But that I've never seen that deep into a book.
It's weird because my latest book I'm working on for the last year is being written in Airtable. It's called The Art of Happiness, and all of my chapters are the domain section, and then all the actual sections of the book, like all the things I'm writing about, are always down in this section. And then I'm just pasting it together for my editor and my publisher, and they're looking at it in real time saying, I like this, I like that, maybe think about this differently, that kind of thing. So I do think it's kind of interesting. And then the other thing I have tweets out, but that's not really writing. But I think copy is really smart. The thing about copywriting, especially when you've got little snippets like that, all those things usually tie up to like some master messaging. It's very hierarchical, a lot of this stuff.
And in that case, if you used array join, and linked in the right way, and you then for the separator you use like enter line or like /n twice, then it would enter it, or like in your roll up you would have a line your copy.
I need to get one of you guys just to sit down with me and just kind of like hold my hand, like literally watch me on the screen so I can feel more comfortable doing something like that. Because I'm okay with the concatenates and a bunch of others. I'm always dated, but some of this stuff, I look at you people and I look at some of the stuff. I'm like, you're just amazing. You're like little wizards.
When it comes to writing, I haven't added any new articles to my website in a while because I've been busy with other things, but all of the articles on my website are written in Airtable and published from Airtable. So like not the homepage, not the contact me page, but all the actual articles in there, they're all records in Airtable.
Yeah, my news site is that way. I've been migrating all my blogs onto my new site. And they're here under, I think, FAQs. No, not my FAQs. Where'd I put them? Thoughts? No, not thoughts. Ideas? Yeah, so I'll do the same thing where you come in here and like see something and then what I thought of it. So to your same point, I'm trying to migrate that. But I think it's kind of like, to me, it's the holy grail, not to have like Airtable like run your life, but to have your Airtable visible to the world. Like if you, again, I want to write my emails in Airtable. I want to pay my bills in Airtable. I want to buy my groceries in Airtable. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Do you think that's just too crazy? Is that too much to want? Like I want the Airtable to be kind of where the command comes from.
No. And I do want some parts of my life that are not online,
Airtable?
but I found that when I find something that works better with Airtable, it usually works a whole lot better than what it was before. I think we someone new joined. Is it Leona?
Yep. Welcome, Leona.
How do you guys know when people join?
I let
Oh.
them. They're in the,
Okay.
they're in the room.
All right. Should we do an 8-ball for the day? Ask it a question about Airtable for the week or month. Does anyone have a question? Come on, give us a question. How about we ask about your app? Will you sell how many? 100 copies this year?
Will I
Want to do
sell
100?
more than 2 copies this month?
This will Kuovonne sell more than 2? What was the name of the app?
Email table.
Will Kuovonne sell more than 2 copies of of email table this month? Ooh. As I see it, yes.
Woohoo!
There you go.
8-ball doesn't lie.
I was going to be really disappointed if it said no.
You know, now I've got to go and buy them both and lie about the email addresses. Funny story, not related to Airtable, off the rails for a moment. When I was 29, I got my mother her first computer, I don't know, sometime in the 90s. She was always afraid to use computers. My father had one, I had one. She was like, her heavy smoker the whole bit. So I got her own computer because I was like, Mom, you can have your own computer. Well, eBay was getting to be a big deal. And my mother thought she was just shrewd little businesswoman. And my chain smoking, sailor swearing mother would get in her old car, the exhaust everywhere. She was rolling coal before it was popular. And she'd go all over Southern Florida to Goodwill stores, wait till they opened up. And when old people came in and sold their estate sale stuff, she'd buy it like at really low prices, take it home, clean it up, write these elaborate stories like my aunt got this from the Queen of England and post this on eBay. Well, my mother, over the first few months, had a few sales, and she would tell me, "Oh my God, I made $15 on eBay!" And like, I was so excited for her, right? Because she's using the computer, she's not afraid of the computer anymore. She's selling stuff on eBay. She's leaving the house. She's going to be older at this point, right? So this goes on for about another month. She sells some more stuff, then her stuff stops selling, right? So she starts embellishing the stories, and she starts getting really worried. She's, "Christopher, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You know, I'm not getting enough hours at work." She always had to work, so my father couldn't keep a job. So my partner and I came up with this idea. We contacted like all my friends had graduated high school, moved all over the United States. And we all started secretly rolling up and buying her stuff from all these different eBay accounts. So she would think she was, basically rolling in money. So we probably did this for a year. I mean, everyone I knew, I'd basically write $500 checks weekly, just so my mother would feel like she wouldn't take a penny from me, but she'd sell the stuff on eBay. My friends would buy it and then they'd ship it to my house. So a year later, she decides eBay's not working for her anymore. She's made her mint. She wants to be over it. She's now saved up enough money from eBay, like $1,500 a month or something. She'd basically end up with 10 grand. She calls me and says, "Christopher, guess where I am?" I said, "Where?" "I'm at the Denver airport." Like, "Oh, that's great. Oh my God, why didn't you tell me you were coming?" So I race up, get my mother who's at the airport. She's outside smoking, smoke just blowing out. She's screaming and yelling. We're driving home and she's like, "Yeah, I still don't use that damn computer. I should get back into it. It's just so much work. And even at the end, with all the money I was making, it's not worth it." Right. And I'm just like all into it, not realizing what's about to happen. We get back to my house. My mother rolls in there and she just goes quiet, doesn't say a word. And she starts shaking and she looks like she's about to explode. I said, "Mom," and I'm like, "What's wrong? Did I say something wrong? Is my mother about to tell me she has cancer? She's dying? What's going on?" Christopher, you were buying all my eBay stuff all along. So she spent 2 days at my house, just so angry at me because she would never take a dime from me, realizing I had secretly been buying her eBay junk all along. And the moral of the story is, just give your mother money if she doesn't take it from you. Just leave it in her shoes. Love your parents while they're alive. If you have to create elaborate plots to buy their lies off of the computer, it's never gonna work.
That's hilarious. And we got Leona saying that is too funny.
But you're off. Maybe we need to end with an off the rails story every time. Okay. No. But yeah, well, hopefully there's some more Airtable news this week. I'm missing the Airtable news.
Maybe they'll have some unscheduled downtime. Is that what you're hoping for?
No, not that. Not now. Not like this.
They can't come out with new features every week. That's just way too hard.
Mark my words. Actually, next week, if we can remember, Ben, let's dig up our predictions, because I think we're coming up on the 9-month mark. I have a feeling we have something big coming out between now and the end of November. Just mark my words. There's something coming.
One thing I would really like to see, I'll show it right now. Maybe I'll speak this into existence, is in Airtable automations, right? So in Airtable views recently, they released this feature right here. So in filters, you can have condition groups. If you were to go to then say, oh, let's do an automation where the record matches conditions, which also uses filters. You can only do conditions. You can't do condition groups.
Oh,
It's very just add it here, because you could also change this and say when a record enters a view, but I don't want to clutter up my base with views.
Yeah. It's just a matter of they have to go back in and put that code in. Just kind of like how there were some of the other features they put in with timeline, and they're deciding, okay, now which of those features do they want to go back and revisit existing code to retrofit that stuff in.
Isn't that just like a copy paste on the code?
no, you didn't.
Sorry.
Don't ever say that to actually developers. They work hard.
Copy paste has created more errors than just about anything else.
Well,
for my client, I had to create a case study of the work we did. Can I show you guys the little infographic I made for it? You'll think it's cute. This is one event I did last month, and I showed the media that we created for the event in this top of the timeline. And the bottom of the timeline, I showed the engagement layer, which is basically all the interactive stuff. So the Airtable that drove all the media and the Airtable that drove all the interactive websites. So the one interactive website where people upload their phone screens is from the same base, and the other Airtable that has the survey with the survey dashboard in it from that interactive screen. They're going for an award of some type of, disruption award for like their event or something. So they said, hey, could you kind of show us like what you kind of did for us? And I'm like, sure, I'll make a little thing. So do you think it looks good? Do you think it's a pretty little timeline?
I liked it.
I have
That's
to
nice,
step
right?
away for a minute again.
Okay. I feel like she just pops in and out of existence. Okay. I don't know,
We're
Ben.
at the hour. Do we have anything else? Leona, did you want to ask any questions? Anything?
Leona can tell Leona she can come in and on make herself visible like a ghost. She can materialize.
Hi guys, I can do that next time. I didn't expect to be able to join. I know Ben, you gave me this link last time, so I appreciate it. Because I know that you can't see the Facebook comments when you guys are on the Zoom. So thanks for having me. I was going to ask you guys, have you ever thought about putting a little workshop together for people to actually come and meet you and have you like a day workshop where we can work with you? Obviously it would be paid, but it would be cool to meet you guys. And then also like we could have people attend where we could say like, this is how we use the Airtable, and then you guys help out or say like how you can make it better.
I kind of like it. So by the way, nice to meet you, Leona. What I'm feeling, by the way, I love the name Leona. It reminds me of that singer. Who's the singer, Leona? She's like something love, my skin love. You know what I'm talking about, Leona?
Leona Lewis.
Yes.
Leona Lewis, thank you. Camille says me again. So I like it because what I hear you saying, would it be fun to take that and kind of make it almost like American Idol, but for bases?
There you go.
So people come on and kind of do a 5-minute or 2-minute or 1-minute pitch in their base, and we tell them what they could do different, and we actually help them change it right then and there.
Yeah, but I'm actually saying to actually do something in person where you actually rent a space and do a
Oh.
workshop where people can actually come in person. You guys have like a screen where you can project your computer, and we also have our own laptops that we bring where we can connect to Wi-Fi and actually do like an in-person workshop, because it's one thing to ask you guys questions, you know, in the group or on here, but it would be another thing to have like a full day workshop where, you know, it's not too many people, but enough to get one-on-one, or, you know, things where people can learn from, like, say, the way I use Airtable for the businesses that I run versus like maybe somebody uses it for personal things. But if we're all sharing and you guys are like going around helping each other, or, you know, the people that are attending.
Do you think people would travel? Or you think people are ready to travel, Leona?
I mean, I think so.
I was gonna say the in-person might be difficult, you know, year of our Lord 2021. The obvious reasons aside, I don't think any of us are in the same state.
Well, we got the majority here in Texas.
No, Texas has a lot of us.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
Texas-
I forgot about you people in Texas.
Yeah,
Never
Texas
mind.
has Ben, me, Kuovonne, and help me, Rebecca. Leona,
I
the
forgot
other
what
thing,
group I was in. Everyone's in Texas except for me. Never mind.
Leona, the other thing you might want to check out was last year I did an Airtable conference where people did something similar, where everybody kind of showed their base and how they did it. It's just at christanti.com/Airtable. But to that point, Leona, I would like to say that I think what you're saying is a good idea. Not only do I think it's a good idea, I think it's something we should try to do this year.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
it's something like we could pull it off probably in December.
yeah, and at the very least, if it doesn't work because of, you know, anybody that's dealing with COVID issues or money issues or whatever, even if you did it in the spring of 2022 or early, you know, at the turn of the year,
Yeah.
I would definitely do it. And I'm sure that there's a ton of people that take Airtable seriously for like businesses or how they help other businesses. Like, I know you guys do a lot of consulting. But for me, I don't do consulting. I like help people with their businesses, but I use Airtable to help them get organized.
No, I'm actually more like you, Leona. I don't do Airtable. I will do it but I usually will build something for someone. I won't they don't ask me to do things. They say, I have a problem, and then I build an Airtable solution. You know what I mean? It's not like they say, yeah. But I like what you're saying. I don't know. Let's kind of kick that idea around. Keep poking us like a bear. Because I think a spring in-person thing would be fun. I love the idea of doing something. I know Texas isn't everybody's favorite spot, but I mean, I could see something up in Dallas where Ben is, where we just run out of space big enough so we have social distancing, and we could even stream that live and have people a mix and have consultants come. But I can't tell you, Leona, how much I want to meet more people who are using Airtable, not as consultants. Nothing against them. I love my consultants. Ben is my favorite. Like, it's bromance. But I want to meet people who are like using Airtable to solve their problems. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would.
And I want to meet those people.
Austin might be the place to go because Airtable, a lot of people who work in Austin, and we could potentially get people to fly from Airtable.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Oh,
Like Howie.
maybe we could get maybe we could get a tour of their building.
We could do it the week before South by Southwest. Everybody would be going anyway for South by.
There you go. And you're
All right, Leona, reach out to me on Facebook. I'm hiring you as our conference organizer.
okay.
Yeah.
Which will set up an Airtable.
Well, thank you for joining. And I never see the comments, so thank you for telling us that too. I wish this was more interactive, but it is what it is.
No problem. Thank you.
Oh, you could stay on, by the way. Did anyone order the new MacBook?
With the M1 Max Pro chip?
Yeah.
I did not. If they would have had the Mac Mini with that, I might have.
Yeah, I got the Mac Mini, but not the new one, but the one with the M1. But I went ahead and ordered. Wait, Kuovonne, are you a Mac person? Is Kuovonne?
Sorry, I'm a PC person.
Well, what Camille's? Camille, a Mac person?
I have a Mac, but it's less than 2 years old, so it doesn't need to be replaced.
So this is my monster.
Did you order?
Yep, it's coming next Tuesday. I got everything, maxed out everything except for the drive. I only went for 4 terabytes instead of 8.
Only 4 terabytes? I don't even
You
have 1
should-
terabyte.
Yeah,
You should.
I think I have 256. It's my.
So why that versus the, sorry for cutting you off, Camille, I think it lagged on my end. But I would say why that versus the Mac Mini?
I have a Mac Mini. That's what the 49-inch monitor is on. And I used to drive the 49-inch monitor from my 2019 MacBook Pro. They're super. That was another spec'd out $6,000 monster, but it literally burns your hand like a toaster. It gets so hot. The Mac Mini, the M1 from last year, not the new one. I'm sure there'll be a newer M1. That's genius. It sits. Rebecca has one. I think she does. It sits up under the desk here. It runs it. But this thing I had to get because I'm one of those people that does work in bed. I'm not ashamed. My laptop is in bed with me sometimes, and I don't know if anybody actually has a Mac, but like my Mac will start to burn my legs. And like, I know it's like, $5,000, like, okay, just don't use your MacBook in bed, but like, just don't burn my legs.
Oh, I also do stuff when I'm in bed. But usually what it is I'm answering questions on the Airtable official community forums on my phone, which is an iPhone 5S.
Do you do code that write scripts on your phone?
I don't write scripts on my phone, but I do write formulas.
Okay. Yeah. The only thing that they haven't released a real update on, because they have new iMacs, they have new MacBook Pros, new MacBook Airs, is the 27-inch Mac. And I
I
have
heard it's coming.
in 2015, and it has been consistently crashing 1 time a day, always when I'm on Zoom for like the past.
What do you work on, Ben, during the day?
Like, what do you like?
What are you staring at now as for a computer?
27-inch iMac 2015, and then it also has a 27-inch external display, like 2
Okay, so you're basically using 2015 iMac for with 27-inch big with an external monitor.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, not. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'd love to. Can we get a picture of your setup for next week if you remember? Because I'd love just to kind of see like what does it look like from your point of view, like looking at your desk.
Yeah, I might actually be able to get that now. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you could. You know what you could do? You could take a picture with your phone and just hold
Oh.
up your phone.
No, you've got a movable camera.
Yeah, it's a Logitech camera.
Mine is immovable, but then it like everything goes like absolutely haywire. Let me get a picture back. I'll show you what mine looks like. Because I always wonder, like, what Camille, Kuovonne, can you show us what you're looking at? I always wonder, like, what are people seeing when they're looking at their screens? I think it's. And Ben, you can plug your phone in and actually share the phone screen with a cable. So like right now, I should go to.
iMac, because I'd have to reach around to the back of it to
Oh no, let's not do that. Let's not.
do the reach
Well,
around.
that's what I didn't say it. You did. So that's what I'm looking at. That's you guys. So there's the 49-inch monitor. Obviously, you can see that. It's all big and stuff. Of course, I've got a pile of crystals because I'm witchy AF.
I can't see that. All I see is a black screen.
Oh, it's not showing them. Really?
Do you see it?
I don't. All I see is a black screen.
Well, that stinks. Okay, show us. I was just trying not to hold it up to the phone. Oh, I can
So this
see
is
yours.
my setup. So I've got a 17-inch laptop, which was not the laptop I wanted. This is the laptop that I got when COVID hit and everyone was buying laptops for themselves and their kids and working from home. This was about 3 levels down from what I wanted to buy, but was actually in stock. And then the external monitor, and I've got a standing system here. So I actually don't have a chair right now because the chair I used to have broke, but it's a standing desk system.
And what is that? What is that pillowcase on the wall behind you? I always wondered about that.
So this is actually a mirror because I'm just in the room that I have, and I'm like, no, you don't get to see the rest of it. And if I took the cloth down, you would see the huge mess that I have in front.
See,
Because this is a very
think
well lived in house.
I think you're lying. I think you cover the mirror because you're actually a witch who can interdimensionally travel. And you actually go through that portal to create your Airtable apps and come back.
That would be nice.
Oh, look at this. Hold on, but I want to get a screenshot. That's so cool to see the night sky and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's
And
why I
that-
picked this place is because you can see like not the skyline, but part of the skyline of Dallas.
and that's
Wow.
hot.
And I have a little, I don't know if you can see the little bobblehead. That was from a friend from the
Uh-huh.
Netherlands.
Now, I thought you had a picture of me on your desk.
You're right here.
Okay. No, I meant like an actual 8x10 glossy.
I don't have any pictures on this desk.
Okay.
What kind
That's
of,
so cool.
nice
Do you have a coffee machine on your desk?
Is that a thermos?
this
What's
is
behind the thermos?
water bottle. That's a gallon water bottle. So I don't have to
Oh,
walk
okay.
all the way to the kitchen to fill up my water bottle.
Yeah, it looks like it literally looks like a coffee machine from that with the thermos in front of it. I love your view. How do you even pay attention to us when you're sitting there?
It's just there.
Now, do you picture a time when all of a sudden in that sky you see a giant spotlight with the Airtable logo and you then rip off your clothes and turn into like Ben Airtable Man? Because I kind of see an Airtable signal for you.
like right here. Just
Yeah,
pop.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, if someone in the community can Photoshop that Ben a bat light for his Airtable consultancy, that'd be helpful.
No, I'm wondering how far away is your kitchen that you need to have a jug
Not
of
far.
water?
It's not far at all, but it's convenient to have the other thing, Chris, you might like this, is I have a 27-inch Mac, but it looks like it's levitating. Because
Oh, you have it on an arm?
it's not on an arm, but it's there's this wood here that's like a wood slab, and then there's a desk underneath it. And so it's like hidden.
Oh, that's smart. Did you put the slab on there because it looked better than the desk?
And it's bigger. You can see it as an overhang.
Yeah. I love it. Well, I went ahead and shared my photo. You want to see if we can see? You can see it now.
Yeah, let's see it.
That's showing now.
Yep.
Wow.
Got lights.
Yeah. So
Is that the Lego tree?
yeah, this is the Lego bonsai tree. And the leaves change so you can have fall or spring leaves too, which I think is really interesting. That's the 49-inch monitor. And again, it looks amazing. It doesn't look that big in this picture, but when you've got Airtable across 49 inches, it's ridiculous. These are my little crystals because every now and then I'll be on the phone with a customer or a friend and I'm stressing out and I literally have to hold on to a crystal. There's my book. Here's one of my photo shoots from Japan in like 2012. There's my Business Week cover from, I don't know what year that was. This quarter's tarot card. This is a single-use clock down here, this thing. I don't know if that's showing up, but you pull up, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember you shared that.
Yeah, that you pull a pen and it starts counting down. This is my drink. This is the paperwork I gotta get working on. And back here, which is really hard to see, are all the devices that run my whole house. So this is all the home infrastructure on this middle shelf. This is my body infrastructure, this shelf here with these little white things. This top thing is headwear. So anything I put on my head, meditation, EEG, all those other things. And then down below, head, body, and home. This bottom shelf here is all entertainment kind of devices.
So question on your display there is you have stuff close to the bottom of it. So if you have to click something down, it's like say you want to open a different app and it's all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
See you, Kuovonne. Does it like get in the way, all the stuff below or above the
No,
bottom?
can I show you how I do that?
You like lift it up? Yeah, show us. Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, but then
Yeah. So normally when I'm not on camera, I'm looking at this. So literally it's eye level. So right now, Ben, you're literally at my eye level and it literally wraps around my head.
okay,
But I drop it so that we can record.
makes sense.
Yeah, and the desk stands. The nice thing about it also being up is you can see all the cool artwork behind me.
Yep.
Better. Yeah. Enough desk wars.
Awesome. Well, I think that's good for this week. next week we'll be back with hopefully some news. We need news from Airtable, or maybe a different third-party app.
Yeah.
Also,
And if you're watching, come, like our friend Leona did. You can come. You literally, it's not like it's just us. Just like come and go to videowithben.com. Is it .com?
yep,
Video with that. You can just join.
yep.
We're really friendly.
Aaron could join. Anybody's welcome to join.
I don't know if Aaron will join. I feel like Aaron has his own groove, and literally he's so sun-kissed, and I'm so clear, and you're pretty white yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
he's sun-kissed.
I sense that it's like tough for Airtable employees to be in the community because it's intimidating and they don't want to risk their job. But
Yeah, I feel like that bridge is getting crossed with those AMAs because like the community asks them questions like on the spot. I'm sure the first time they saw me like sharing all the screenshots in real time, they're like, "What is going on?" But it's like, I don't know how
well, you're welcome. We actually had people on from Airtable in our first Clubhouse.
Yeah, we had a couple. They used to come and hang out, make sure we weren't saying bad things. And I had this special Palo Santo spray, and I would like.
All right. Well, we will see you all next week. Join us next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, www.videowithben.com. See you then.